Hey guys, and welcome to Nerdcast, where we nerd out about various topics. This is the part two for our podcast on privacy. So another point that I'll bring is how even the app that you have not given consent to, because for Google Home and Alexa you might have given consent to those apps to take your record your voice. But when iOS 14 launched and it turned out that what you call Instagram and TikTok, when you just open those applications, they started the recording and like they started the camera and the microphone at that time instantly, because with iOS 14 they just switch on they have a small LED yellow light and red light in case you're turning on the microphone or the webcam of your phone, not the webcam, like of the camera of your phone. So whenever I open Instagram, it opened up the camera like in the background. So it had the camera and the microphone always open in the background. And then later on they said that it was a bug, and it was a feature, so that when you swipe for the stories, the camera should always be like ready to work.
Yeah. No,
So
so this is
That is
this.
some stupid reason, to be honest.
Yeah, it
exactly.
is a
That's
stupid reason, obviously. That, but the
Yeah.
thing is, you have given permission to these apps on the start. So they ask you for the permission for the camera, right?
Yeah, camera and microphone, but
So
we
you
gave them
don't.
permission only to be while you're using it.
No, that's what. So while using it, obviously, when you open Instagram, you will the camera would be starting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You have given the permission while using the app.
yeah.
So that's the problem here. So they haven't stated that we are not using the camera while you are not
Not
using
using
it
exactly.
literally.
So
Yeah.
then they
So
had
that's
to
a
finally, then after this update, then they had to finally shut it down. The same thing happened with when you now right now with the iOS 14. If I am opening any website on Safari, uh, there are so many trackers that they were there. Like finally, it is blocked by iOS, like by the new Safari. But now you are coming to know that so many websites have like so many trackers on you. So you finally those websites are finally खुलासा हो रहा है उन लोगों का कि हाँ we were using we were taking up so much data
yeah.
of each of
So
the
actually,
consumers.
even people don't know that cookies might be a thing where
Yeah,
which the websites are using,
yeah,
and cookies are obviously लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता क्या cookies, what are cookies.
yeah.
So अगर cookies समझ में आया क्या है, so it is basically a temporary data that you are using from that web page.
Mhm,
So तुम लोगों ने अगर तुम लोगों ने accept किया कि the website is using cookies and I accept it,
mhm.
and and you enter your data, let's say your address and everything,
Yeah,
that goes into their database
yeah.
directly. So cookies वैसे भी use करने से तुम लोग का ये जा ही रहा है.
Mhm.
So people don't usually notice that, and it is obviously a breach of privacy क्योंकि technical knowledge लोगों को पता नहीं है.
Yeah. I normally decline to for the cookies, or I just leave that running. I don't click on that
Yeah,
tab.
the tab running. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
The special thing that I use for these websites is incognito mode.
yeah,
So
but
that's
the European nations, right?
yeah.
They filed a lawsuit against Google that they were selling the
Yes.
data that were like browsed or used on an incognito tab.
Yeah,
So
that's
incognito
Oh,
also
is also not safe.
it's also not safe. Yeah.
yeah. No, the cookies I was talking about, but yeah, true. Incognito mode is still browsing your web. I mean, internet, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in Google's privacy policy, it says that
Yeah, it
we
doesn't
are
track
not
anything.
going to track your data, your history will not be recorded, but it records your history and all that.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's a 5 billion lawsuit
yeah.
Yeah.
that they have filed.
Yeah, like if talking about like privacy, like so I just opened up like the number of trackers that I've seen from Google. So I can so in the last 30 days itself, there were 47 trackers in different like websites like Tom's Hardware and The Verge, and out of that, more than half of them were from Google, which were like inbuilt into all of these websites. So you
Yeah,
can see how
so
much Google is like trying to get into, like even if you're not using any Google services, it is still, there
Okay,
all
no,
over
no,
the
no.
website.
So websites, what they do is they integrate their the Google Analytics
Yeah,
softwares and many softwares that Google makes
yeah,
into their website.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
anyways, so whenever you are using it in real time, Google might track from where you have clicked the link or from
Hmm.
where you have landed on that website.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
Yeah,
all,
your
yeah,
IP, your
yeah,
location, your
exactly.
MAC address,
yeah.
which device is you are using on,
Hmm.
which time you access.
Exactly.
You get the details on your Google account. You can also check that out, like what
Yeah.
time you access this
Like,
website.
yeah, huh. It's actually pretty terrifying, that anything that you're doing on any of your devices might be known to any of the servers on the, like, anything, like even if you're trying to be completely cut off and like be private, even then there is some of the other services that are taking that data of you, about you.
Yeah.
Bro, if you're considering some apps, like when I downloaded Facebook's Messenger, like I saw which are the permissions he's taking. He's taking location, he's taking
Oh,
Bluetooth, he's taking like messages also.
Yeah.
Like Messenger was taking your everything, like
Hmm.
literally everything from the phone. They wanted to
oh,
access your everything, and I denied everything,
Hmm.
and I just kept not only location, just data, okay, mobile data permission to that, else no. And when they came to know about that Facebook lawsuit that they were taking the data, so Facebook launched a gimmick link that they will show you what data has been taken from your
Yeah.
website. When I downloaded that, for me it was like a 30-40 MB file,
Yeah.
and that data was totally irrelevant.
Yeah, but when
oh,
I
so
downloaded
no,
it, it was really terrifying
yeah,
because they had like somehow they knew that I
exactly.
had a Sony PlayStation, and somehow they had given that data to all of the PlayStation servers from Facebook, which I had never logged in onto my Facebook from my PlayStation, but somehow they knew about it, and that was really
Again,
terrifying.
not just that, it has so you know that Facebook tracks your face. So when you add a photo of someone,
Yeah,
let's say your friends, it
yeah,
asks about it.
yeah,
So Facebook has created your face ID.
yeah.
So if you download the Facebook data, you'll come to know that there's a thing called Face ID,
Mm-hmm.
which has all the information of your face, and it can track your face from anywhere.
Yeah, I just removed all of my photos after that lawsuit when that was going on. I was like, this is completely not safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
people.
it yeah, it does use a lot of this thing because it knows that I owned a Moto G and it still gives me ads. And the data, my data was about 700 MB,
Yeah,
and it
mine was
was
more than a
huge.
giga. Mine was more than a GB.
Yeah,
I haven't used Facebook from 2017 to 2019,
Mm-hmm.
but
yeah.
I used to play a lot of Counter Strike.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook started suggesting me pages of Counter Strike without even
Oh,
knowing it.
Exactly, like it's really terrifying. 2017 onwards, I completely moved on to iOS from Android because Android had so much like either you have to be really careful of where your data is going, or you know
yeah.
that somewhere or this other way, because you're using Google's operating system as a core operating
See, you just need to take care of what apps are you using and what are the permission
Permissions that.
you're giving them.
But even
So
then,
if
your
you're
core
So
using,
Android is Google's, na. Even
no,
then,
no.
yeah,
So the
that's
So
completely fine.
basically, that's the only difference between iOS and this thing is that iOS gives you easement of the privacy.
yeah,
So out of the box, it comes with privacy. The thing with Google or Android is that it is an open source where you can customize everything.
yeah,
People don't use it. Obviously, people don't use the all the features to
yeah,
customize it. So the permissions, you have multiple permissions that you can't give or you can give just by while using the app.
yeah,
So that is also important where you give the permission and how you give the permission.
yeah,
See, if
And
you are
people still don't.
downloading, so if you are downloading a flashlight app and you're giving it a calling permission and contact information, that
yeah,
is
Yeah,
scam
that is
actually.
all. Yeah, and people don't usually look at what permissions they are giving.
Yeah,
They just click
exactly.
allow.
Yeah.
Mm. Like even right now, this thing happened, and I literally moved down to that thing. So what happened is with iOS 14, another update that came out, that if I'm uploading, like if I'm uploading a photograph on Facebook or something, normally when you give access to your gallery, right? If that's the
Yeah,
default. From iOS 14 onwards, I can give access to one single picture in my gallery. So when Facebook opened my gallery, it can only see one picture that I'm going to upload. and it think that I have only one picture in my gallery. There is no other thing in my gallery. So that's the best thing. Like, so I have moved on to that. Even my photo editing apps like Lightroom and all, they think that I have only a few pictures in my gallery that I'm going to edit. None other photographs are accessible to those apps. And I hope that
Yeah.
Android brings that in soon with the next Android 11 or something. But
I
this is
hope so.
actually quite a good
I
thing.
don't think that Android is more
Yeah,
focused on privacy. They are
it's
more
more focused
focused on
on
customization,
custom. Yeah,
mods, everything.
Yeah.
And if
and
we are talking so much about social media, let's talk about Amazon. Because if we see
uh,
something, seeing some laptops for my friend,
Yeah.
so that laptop's ad, I'm getting it from Google Ads.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Even
I
Facebook and
don't want
Instagram.
to, yeah, even I don't want to buy it, but I'm looking that for
Hmm.
someone else.
Yeah.
Still, I'm getting those ads, and still browsing on Amazon is also means selling your data.
Yeah.
yeah. Amazon is not selling your data for sure, but it's actually using your data for their own good. That's it.
No, I'm pretty sure they are selling it because
They are
Facebook and
selling it.
Instagram have the
Yeah.
ads of those products. So
Ah,
they're
yes.
pretty
They
sure.
have to exchange. Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about these apps, there's one app that takes everything from your phone
Yeah.
and is pretty sneaky. Is Truecaller.
Okay.
Truecaller is so sneaky that it asks you to make it as your SMS
No, default
reading
calling
app,
app.
Default calling app.
Default
a
calling
default
app.
SMS app.
Yeah.
And when it does that, it gives you an OTP. So I haven't given the permission for default messaging app,
Hmm.
but it gives me a option to copy the OTP from my message,
Yeah.
which is really weird because I didn't give any permission.
Hmm.
So I just deleted the app because that was a bit fishy for me. Because then
Hmm.
anybody could hack my Truecaller information
Yeah.
and just have my bank accounts from anywhere.
That actually reminded me of one of the best feature that I noticed in iOS that I want Android to have soon. That when I'm using my like iOS device, and if I have to enter my password or OTP, the phone does not allow, like my default keyboard is Swift key, Microsoft Swift key keyboard. But whenever I'm inputting a password or something, the phone does not allow the Swift key keyboard to work, and it only opens up the Apple keyboard, its default keyboard, which does not take any data. And then it switches back. Once मेरा password मैंने enter कर दिया, तो like username के time Swift key चलेगा, password के time वापस it will go back to Apple keyboard, and then it will shut that down. So for
That
OTPs, for passwords, and for anything that you need, any private information that you need to enter, it does not allow external third-party keyboard to access that data.
So basically, you're saying Google keyboard is a myth
exactly. So that's what the
because
funny thing about
keyboard
it is.
is used on many more devices, and people like put their OTPs password through Google keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. So that is so
The default
that is
keyboard
going
that
on.
Android has is keyboard.
No,
No,
but
not
like
like
when I
that.
was using an Android
Every
phone,
has their
I was using Swift keyboard on my Android phone too. So and even then, so, even entering the passwords and everything, Swift was the like Swift was my keyboard even while entering the
Yeah, yeah,
password.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is the thing that iOS has like moved on away from. Like it does not allow any third party keyboard to get access to the password in any way, like entering the password.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in.